Dean is a guy that you want to see with his humble personality and enthusiasm to the film industry. He will succeed in talking about pretty much on his visit to Sweden. Anna-Maria Lindqvist Arrue from TV Eskilstuna asked him some questions a few hours before his departure back to the United States. Here he tells TV Eskilstuna about his visit.
Which projects have you been undertaken? And what do you think about Sweden? And please tell me more about you.
After being introduced to Wonna through a mutual friend and getting to know her through phone and email conversations, I decided to come to Sweden to meet her in person. I feel a strong connection to Wonna and believe we share many common values and sensibilities in business and how we approach our lives. Specifically, the trip was designed to get to know each other on a more personal basis and discuss further cooperations. It is our mutual desire to find a special film project to work together on, which could be based on one of her ideas or one of my projects. Wonna plans to visit Los Angeles shortly to discuss our plans in more detail.
I would like to work with somebody close. I can fly to Los Angeles, that person can fly over to me. We can spend here 1 month, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. Somebody who can develop the first, because it has to be polished and polished and polished, I understand. But to give the first draft.
Yeah, well there's a lot of writers out there. I would need to think about just, certain writers, their sensibilities.
The sensibilities.
Their availabilities.
Yes, but mostly the sensibilities. You can make any person available. It's a question of money.
I have a wonderful impression of Sweden after visiting for the very first time. It's a beautiful country and I was fortunate to spend some time both in Stockholm city and in the peaceful countryside. I will definitely come back to visit and vacation again, most likely in the summer. Dean Zanuck represents the third generation on one of Hollywood's most illustrious film families. His grandfather was the legendary Darryl F. Zanuck, co-founder and chairman of 20th Century Fox, and his father is the Oscar-winning producer Richard D. Zanuck. Dean Zanuck's first producing effort was Road to Perdition, directed by Sam Mendes and starring Tom Hanks, Paul Newman and Jude Law. The film was nominated for 6 Academy Awards and winning 1. His most recent film is Get Low, a drama about a man who staged his own funeral while still alive, starring Robert Duvall, Bill Murray and Sissy Spacek. Zanuck acquired the script 7 years ago, developed the material, raised the financing and brought on the director Aaron Schneider and secured the stellar cast. Get Low was Sony Picture Classics' highest grossing film in 2010. A native of California, Zanuck grew up in Los Angeles and attended Harvard High School, and during his summer breaks he worked in the ICM mailroom. Following graduation from the University of Colorado, where he majored in history, he learned every aspect of production, working in various production capacities on the film Clean Slate, Wild Bill and Mulholland Falls, and was a personal assistant to producer Brian Grazer during the production of Apollo 13. He joined the Zanuck Company in 1995 as Vice President of Development. At the Zanuck Company, he oversaw the production on the blockbusters Deep Impact, Planet of the Apes and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Zanuck also served as production executive on the critically acclaimed films True Crime, starring and directed by Clint Eastwood, Rules of Engagement, starring Tommy Lee Jones and Samuel L. Jackson, and Big Fish, starring Ewan McGregor and Sweeney Todd, starring Johnny Depp. While at the Zanuck Company, he produced the aforementioned Oscar-nominated Road to Perdition, as well as co-produced Reign of Fire, starring Matthew McConaughey, Christian Bale and Gerard Butler.